Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Psycho Time Plays, a Square Enix game published by Nintendo. Oh, yes, scream it if you can read it at the top of your screen. It's Final Fantasy VI. Oh, yeah, baby. And it's the advanced version. No, I don't want to load. Anybody that wants to know why I'm doing the advanced version? Mostly it's because Square Enix will not allow you to actually show the animated cutscenes. They check for it on YouTube, so I checked around, and apparently I'm okay to play the game so long as I do not put rendered cutscenes in it. Because showing those is kind of against their policy. Fine. They put a lot of effort into those. That's okay. So I picked the version of this game that will not have them. Does not have the one at the beginning, it does not have the one at the end. On top of that, Final Fantasy VI Advance has a lot of bug fixes, and a couple of additions that I honestly felt were really nice for the game. So, as far as content goes, I have played this game to the point that I get to the world map. I played it once whenever I was really young, and I got maybe 1/5 the way through it, and I can't remember anything I did. So, this playthrough, after we leave this town, I don't know anything about this game. I know information about the story, I kind of know about how it ends. I have a copy of it that I've never actually beaten. So, yeah. It's not that it's a bad game. I love the Final Fantasy series, and I honestly think this game is one of the coolest. I've just never beaten it myself, and I've only kind of heard parts of the story later on, so I kind of want to play through it. And if I have to play a Final Fantasy for my channel, why not play what I personally think is one of the better ones? I like Final Fantasy VIII. I liked Final Fantasy I, actually. I've probably beaten Final Fantasy I like 3 times, but that's just because it's a game that is really like zen to just sit there and grind with. I don't mind grinding in video games. I'm actually pretty like chill about it. So whenever we get out of the main town, I will probably do a little bit of grinding on my own so that you guys will not have to watch me go through all of it. So once we finish up this area, I'll kind of level the character up just so that then the fights are smoother, and, you know, it makes the gameplay less about you watching me artificially extend it by running around in a circle for 10 hours. And if I let this run, it'll show all the credits. So we're going to go ahead and skip past that. There are probably credits at the end of this game. If there aren't, at the end of this game, I will show you that entire walk to the town. Because I honestly feel like the developers of games like this deserve to have their credits shown at the end of Let's Plays. Because it's their hard work that has made this possible. Like, I'm just a guy sitting here playing a video game and talking about it. They're the ones that, like, put hours and hours of their life into designing every single part of this game so that it looks beautiful. I mean, look at the sprite work on this. That's another reason that I wanted to play this one other than some of the others. The newer versions have a more retro art style, which, I mean, it's okay. But trying to, like, HD the graphics in this game? No. This game is all about that art. All about that art. No HD. Oh yes. Don't care for that song. Smoke that guy. And then we smoke that guy. And we good. Biggs and Wedge have gained a level. Oh yes. And I'm honestly looking forward to playing some more retro games on my channel. So you guys let me know what games you liked back in the day. And yeah, I might be willing to give them a shot. I have a decent little collection of like older games, and I honestly don't mind playing just about anything for you guys. So So long as it's not a racing game or a sports game. Because, honestly, if I want to play sports, I'll go outside and play sports. If I want to race, I'll get behind the wheel of a car. But, you know, until they invent the ability for people to, like, shoot lightning bolts out of their hands or, like, fly through the air, I'll get my fix on that on video games. If they do invent the ability for people to do that, though, then you might see me stop updating. Hear about me flying through the air, shooting lightning bolts out of my fingers. Oh, yes. Be great, just like... So you're having an argument with someone, they're like, I don't know. They don't like something you've done, you just be like, unlimited power! Everybody use Thunderbolt for unlimited power. Unlimited power! Well, that's not very cool, actually. I mean, it's a Thunder Beam, but still. I think I like the chain lightning style effects better. It's just lightning branching all over the place. Tickles something deep and cathartic inside your brain. Let me maneuver my tank through this city. Guard the mercs. Really nice. Yeah, we're just going to move all the way now from my path. The game is basically about natural fear here, guys. Like, you start off pretty OP. These mech suits that you are in just kind of make everything a joke, so yeah. You just kind of tap A until you're finished with this starting area's fights. Later fights are much more deep. I would say that this game actually features some of the most complex fights that Final Fantasy has had in years. Certain enemies have abilities that they can use in response to you attacking. Actually, one of the earliest examples of that is coming up fairly soon. But first, shiny. Oh, yes. Yeah, teach me about save points. Please teach me, senpai. Uh-huh. Okay. Biggs and Wedge. Oh, yeah. Biggs and Wedge are recurring characters throughout a lot of Final Fantasy games. I don't know where they first appeared. They might have first appeared in this one. They might have appeared earlier. I know that they're in 8 and 9. They appear in 7 as well. They're in 14. So, yeah. Speaking of which, if anybody's not played it, Final Fantasy 14 is pretty fun. I would recommend, if you can't run it on your PC and you have like a PS3 or PS4, give it a shot. Like, I only played it for a very short amount of time, but I honestly feel like I got my money's worth. Give me here. Sending like an Indian god to fight me. Oh. Something was lost in translation. No. A lightning well. No. What's that? No. Okay, if you're just getting attacked with lightning. We're just kind of like nuke it with attacks. Oh, should have made what's her face use it with an attack. Oh well. Okay. I wanted to hold my attack there because, as you can see, he's now withdrawn into his shell. If you have an attack queued up whenever he does this, you will hit the shell and take a lot of damage. So, now we play the waiting game. So we'll go get some salt. We'll deal with this the old-fashioned way. Salt them out. Welcome back. Mash Tech Missile and Fire Beam. This might be enough to kill him. Slow. Uh-oh. Someone have an attack queued up? No? Okay. Oh. Come on, Escargo. Come on. Escargo is one of those things that I've always been curious about, but I don't think I could ever bring myself to try. I mean, it's one of those things, if I try not to judge other cultures' food, just because, you know, what we eat compared to the rest of the world might seem pretty strange to them. So, why limit your own ability to try new things just based on, oh, well, that's not something normal for here? The few exceptions to that are balut and maybe like certain fried insects. And with them, it's just more of a, I wouldn't want to eat the insects because I'm just kind of, I don't know, kind of gross me out. But that's just a personal dislike of giant insects. And balut is just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys, balut in the places that serve it is served as a night food. And the actual reason that it is served mostly at night is because people don't want to look at it when they eat it. Which is pretty gross. What's going on here? The Esper deleted him from the game. You can't tell, but what it's actually doing is it's splitting Biggs and Wedge up and scattering them through every Final Fantasy game that we've made since here. So, yeah. You can't tell, but they were actually cast through the aeons. Man, what a great dream. Hey, I had this crazy dream, sir, where I ran all the way around here in your house, went on up to your clock, and looked at it, took an elixir, and then came back to figure out what you wanted. It's crazy, right? You too? My, I just removed the crown. That's where you find out that it wasn't any special crown, he just like grabbed it off you to like pawn it. This is a slave crown. The crown clown. So, another Final Fantasy game in which the main character has no memories. Yep, that happens. I can't really beef this game too much for it because, really, I mean, she has a pretty legit reasoning, and the story is tailored in such a way that her not having memories kind of allows you to have a fresh experience on the whole world as she finds out who she is. No. Having no memories or having, like, jacked up memories has been, like, a running theme in Final Fantasies, though, for quite a while. 6 does it. 7 does it. 8 does it. 9 does it. 10 kinda does it. I mean, it's one of those things, I can't tell you how certain games do it, really. 8 and 10 in particular, you think I'm joking whenever I say that the characters don't remember who they are, but play the game. 8 kind of gives you a hint on it very early on. 10, it pops out of nowhere. It just blows your mind all of a sudden. Oh. I really love 10. Final Fantasy X was one of my favorites, but with the beauty of Final Fantasy X came the horror of Final Fantasy X too. Which was not a bad game, because I really don't ever like to say that a game is bad, because a lot of times games that we see as being bad are just not to our tastes. I've heard of people liking 10 too. I'm just not one of them. Now, whenever I say I've heard of people liking 10 too, I have heard people online say they like 2. I don't know anybody that has ever played through all of 10 too, personally. Like, I am the only person that I have ever, like, physically come into contact with that has played through that entire game. I didn't care for it. It, to me, was a little bit short. The story was a little bit bland. And it feels like it was trying to milk out on your desires left over from Final Fantasy X. Which was not great. If you guys did enjoy 10 and are looking for a little bit of a, you know, kind of a feeling of completeness that you didn't quite get the Final Fantasy X HD remake. I believe it's just for PS Vita, but it might have also come out on consoles. It has a little, like, audio journal thing of what happens kind of after 10.2-ish, I want to say. It's a direct continuation of 10 in the way that a lot of people wanted. But it's actually kind of sad. And I really appreciate it. I liked that they gave us a little bit of closure on characters that everyone wanted closure on. And I liked that they did it in a not just cheesy cop-out kind of way. It felt good. It was very satisfying. I could have done with an entire game following the basis of that, like, one little story from the end. But then again, people always want more from Final Fantasy games. Like, you finish Final Fantasy VIII, you want continuation. You finish Final Fantasy VII, you want more. Final Fantasy X, and they wanted more so much that they got more, but honestly, 7 was not my favorite Final Fantasy. I know, I'm crazy. I liked 8 more. And then we got this gentleman, who put a crown on our head and took us out to whoop down on soldiers. I just love that he is riding around in a giant mech for no other reason than he apparently wanted to ride a giant mech. Like, he doesn't seem to be fighting in it. He just really wanted to have a giant mech going on. I mean, whatever. Soldiers of the Empire. We're going to take over the world. Evil power to our empire and stuff. Mommy. What? Oh, the Empire. Oh. Seriously. Like, I love evil dictators in video games, don't get me wrong. But man, do they sometimes have the worst. Like, it's not even that they're badly written or anything, it's just, why are you taking over the world again? Oh, because reasons? Bro, you got yourself like a whole empire, and like, You rule like 9/10 of the planet, okay? Let's just lay this down. If you rule that much of the planet, what do you want from the additional 10%, really? I mean, you have yourself like a giant military force. You're safe, you're secure, you are wealthy, and you've built an empire that will last for decades, if not centuries, on the power of just what it has earned right here and now. And with the stuff that you had already accomplished, you know, tapping into magic as a new resource, your empire was set up to probably dominate the world for, you know, thousands of years. But you really had to go out of your way to make sure that the whole world disliked you. Which is gonna cause you problems, man. You know, maybe when you're the most powerful empire, you just be the bro empire and be like, hey, yeah, we're pretty good, right? What can we do for you? Well, I mean, you see where I am, but really haven't got me yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The furries are here. Kubo to you too. Do you guys speak? Oh. Like an explanation? No! I'm a man. I don't read the manual. Oh. Okay. Kill the giant thing. Because it's pain. Poke it. Stab it. Okay. There we go. Let's try and get him before all the other ones manage to pile up in the top area and get to what's-her-face. The Moogles up there will actually fight anything that steps in front of them, so it's not a big deal. I just do it like this rather than trying to... You can press like select and move the Moogles out to try to defend and block areas and all that jazz. But let's be honest, it's easier to just like bum rush this guy. Lock went down, but that's okay, I didn't like him anyway. I'm just joking. Lock's pretty solid. Lock solid. We could be a little bit more in their deck, you know, they could help us carry her or something, or whatever. Here, let me just lay you face down on the ground. Yeah, looks about right. Switch on and right. Excuse you, game? That didn't open a door, it just deleted the wall. Well, this realm has magic, so I'll forgive. You lost your memory! So you've got amnesia. I keep you safe. On my word, honest. Okay. Well, we have completed the first area, I believe. So, shoot. I can leave the town, okay. And before we actually split, let's go and check this place out. This is a place that provides advice to travelers. Well, I am a traveler. What's up? This is water from the recovery stream. This? Thank you. Thank you. You and your bucket of goodness making me happy. Oh, chest. That's not what I want. Game. Okay, we were so tight like 10 seconds ago. Then you had to pull the like, oh, by the way, here's a chest and it's... Excuse you, sir? Like, me and the game were gonna be so tight, and then the game had to pull the whole, there's a monster in that chest trick. Battle tactics. First tactics. All battles should be to raid the chest. Ooh. Really? Oh, I was certain that that bucket would have something in it. Get out of the way. Seriously. What are you guys doing this for? You're insane. Advanced battle tactics. Bunch of guys standing in a circle. Tall shot? Okay, you get out of my way. No, seriously. You get out of my way. Thank you. Okay. Alright, guys. And I think that is about the end of the episode. Yeah. So, I can't go back into this one. Okay. Yeah. I am going to save it here on the world map. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding in this first area to buff my character up and kind of even the playing field for the rest of the game. And after this, we will pick back up where I will try to, I guess, make it to the next town. So, if you guys enjoy this series, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you in the next part. Bye.